Hello and welcome to Grumpy Gamers. You're here with me, Pete, and along with me this week I have Ben.
Hello.
And Eddie.
Hello.
Who you were the only two last week, weren't you?
Yeah, it was nice.
We were, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice
I guess, Pete, that you have no idea how that went because you haven't listened to it.
None at all, yeah. Not even, I think I'm about 8 episodes behind now.
I did have a feeling when you went like, Eddie, I see you've put War Tales in what we've been playing, but no notes. I was like, Pete didn't listen to last week.
He has fucking no idea. He's on what fucking planet he's on.
Not a clue. Not a clue. So I take
Just
it you
rocks
like.
up.
Yeah, I take it you like War Tales, though, Eddie, and we'll come to that later.
Yeah,
But yes.
there you go. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. And I'm sure it was a great episode last week. I look forward to it at some undisclosed point in the future.
You're never going to listen to that. But let's move on.
For that, yes, we do of course have the news and new releases for you. Although there's like 3 games and new releases, it's a slowie. It's
High quality.
high. That's the thing. It's a high bar. Yes, we have got a what we've been playing, where at least 2 of us have played new games. And our feature this week is talking about the big releases coming up over the next few months. So look forward to that. But shall we start with the quick news, Ben?
Let's. Warner Brothers have denied that the upcoming Wonder Woman game has been designed as a live service game. I mean, I didn't know it was being designed at all. So
I was being accused of being.
I know. I like the deny.
I know. It's like it's a serious accusation to be called a live service game. Some of my favourite games are live service games.
Yeah. Is this how they chose to announce they were making a Wonder Woman game as well?
Never. We could never make it a live service game. Sorry, you're making a Wonder Woman game.
Yeah, well, that was kind of implied by what we said. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, news to us, there's a Wonder Woman game, and news since it's not a live service game. So
It wasn't designed as one, apparently.
well, it wasn't designed as one. Now that's loaded. That's
Oh,
loaded,
so
isn't
maybe
it?
it is going to be.
Maybe.
It's a little brag.
Good point.
In no way did we design it like this, but it is a live service game. Enjoy.
Good point. Next up, Infinity Ward opens a new studio in Texas. So amongst the sea of gaming layoffs that we've talked about in recent months, there is something good. There is a new studio being opened. So.
The circle of life continues, yes.
So there we go. Dragon's Dogma 2's release date has supposedly leaked, and it's the 22nd of March next year.
Lovely, yeah.
Good job.
Are you guys interested in Dragon's Dogma?
I didn't give a shit because you couldn't buy it. Well, you could buy a house, but you bought a house for someone else and then you couldn't use it. So no, I was not interested.
Yeah, I can understand that. I should be interested, but I never paid much attention.
I played the first one, but I didn't really take.
Nah.
I didn't really like it that much. Which I think I was in. I think I was in a minority, but actually, looking back on it, I think that was how it was at the time. But people over time have seen it as a cult classic.
Yes,
yeah.
It's definitely grown in popularity over time.
Well, we have seen the trailer. There was a trailer for Dragon's Dogma 2 at some event, probably at Jeff Keighley's last event or something. I didn't actually think it looked that good. I thought it looked pretty ropey, but
Savage.
so I never expected to see it in March, but reportedly that's the leak date. Okay. A former Nintendo of Japan employee has publicly spoken about his time working for the company. He called it a haven for superhumans and geniuses, but hell for an ordinary person like himself. But he said it was a great company to work for, though.
Hell, that's a very company to work for.
It's a very confusing last sentence there.
It is, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
it was hell, but he did say, "Yeah, great company."
It was hell for someone like me, but a great place to work.
He even said, and I do reiterate, it was a great company to work for.
The ninjas are still watching him, aren't they?
I was going to say, it's almost like someone's like put a gun to his head halfway through that.
Yeah, it's almost like it was
for someone ordinary like me. Oh, actually, it's a great company to work for.
Yeah, it's almost like I've said too much.
Yes, I'm going to get sued here, so I
Dial
better
it
shut
back.
up. Yeah,
just to clarify, it is fantastic.
It's the best company.
In fact, I've rescinded my notice. But yes.
Unity 6 engine will launch next year with an expansion of responsibly sourced AI tools. It's been a massive talking point recently over the last couple of weeks. AI and use in gaming. A lot of people losing their shit and talking about AI and, I won't buy a game if it's got AI generated stuff in. Okay, fine. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I've seen this too, Ben. A load of people are getting upset. Do you know what I saw a quote from, and this is a bit weird, from Steven Spielberg that said, and this is with AI and writing in movies, he said, the scripts that get created are from creative people, and AI is just imitating other people's work. So writers should not be worried about this. And the way I feel the way I feel about AI, like writing all these things, I don't think, for example, it will be used for like the main things. I think it will be just fleshing out the things in the background. Do you know what I mean? Yep. So I very much welcome it. I'm sorry, and so not only do I welcome it because it will make games better, it will make games more fleshed out, it will make them more professional. It also will massively. I was out for a meal last week, and my friend invited his friend, and he's a games developer, and him and his mate have been designing this game, and he showed me it. He's been working 2 years on this thing. With AI technology, that could be significantly. It could do wonders for indie game developers. So, look, there is the argument, obviously, of it's going to take jobs, but welcome to the modern era. Like, if you go back 30 years and go talk to some factory workers and tell me that now this is better than that, no, it's not. Like, just get with the times. Just these things are happening. You can't just stop it all.
Well, there's a couple bits to it, I suppose. I mean, people like voice actors have a right to be concerned, in theory. And I think the biggest thing with AI is copyright hasn't kept up. But we're missing the biggest part of this story, guys. It's fucking Unity. Yeah. Who's going to use it? Like, who the fuck is going to use it?
That's a fantastic point. That's a fantastic point. Who's going to use it? Well, I tell you what, smaller studios who only have a couple of people working on games, AI tools could be so helpful. I mean, I work with someone who uses AI in their business quite heavily, and the efficiencies it's brought are incredible. And not to make it so that somebody loses their job, more that people can do their jobs more efficiently. Yeah. I mean, it depends on how you use it, but we are in changing times. This is going to happen. This isn't exclusive to gaming. This is everywhere.
No.
So it's not a gaming issue. And I appreciate like voice actors and things like that. But if AI can do voice acting, that will be the cheaper option. You know what that'll mean? It doesn't necessarily mean that companies make more money. It means that companies have more money to reinvest. Like there's a lot of things that go into this. Like your favourite games could have been propped up by live service games and things like that have done very well. It's the same thing with AI. It allows for a portfolio. It allows people to try different things. I don't see it as the demon that a lot of people are putting out there.
Yeah, so as soon as, in my opinion, as soon as you stop, like, the development of anything, even of our species, all because you want someone to stay in a job like that, that's ridiculous to me. So, like, I think if anything, we should allow all these changes and therefore just change the working climate. So if that means less voice actors, I'm sorry, but yeah, less voice actors.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want anyone to lose their job. I'm just saying. Yeah, I just said that
these things change so gradually, Ben, that we can accustom to it. You know, people growing up. We can adapt.
I mean, that's what happens.
The jobs aren't there, for example.
Businesses do adapt. Like this is what happens. Businesses do adapt, and different things happen, and different jobs are created with these things and stuff. So I don't know. I just don't think it's as bad as a lot of people will be screaming at their
Beyond-
podcast players right now.
Beyond everything, no one will ever find out because it's Unity. Like, no one's paying that. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's move on. Right, Redfall gets a new gun and performance improvements in its third major patch.
That's it.
The third major patch, Eddie.
I didn't know it's still going.
The three players remaining will be loving it. Yeah.
There's more, guys. There's more. But the Hero Pass content won't be releasing until later 2024. That is a fucking huge time for Horizon for a game that's supposedly got 3 players.
Shit, hell. Do you know what? I like when bad launches carry on and they redeem themselves. Obviously, No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk, to name a few. But when a game is so bad, I don't think they should be allowed to try.
You had to have something to build on, didn't you?
Yes,
Like,
yes. And
your sandcastle wasn't there, but you didn't have sand to start with. Like, yeah. God.
Hell. Yeah. Just to add to this as well, Ben, before you move on, City Skylines were meant to do. They're working on some sort of fucking expansion thing, but they've I think they said today something like they've postponed it until future notice to work on the quality of the game, because obviously they still haven't fucking fixed it.
Yeah.
So.
to actually make the game work.
Yes, it did say it was going to take a hot minute, though.
They practically said that. They practically said we've stopped the expansion to try and get the game functional.
The game we recently released. That doesn't
It would be a piss take if they released the expansion.
Oh, could you imagine? This time with 30 frames per second instead of 4.
No, you've gone too far. This time with 7 frames instead of 4. You'll get the next ones in the next expansion.
This time you can move the screen across. Oh, look at that. You can zoom in and out.
It would just change the game for me if that was a thing.
You might
That would make it a game.
Yeah, wouldn't recognise it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, well, other games that have launched horribly. Payday 3,
Nice.
that had matchmaking issues when it launched. Mixed reports coming on about Payday 3. So it both exceeded developer expectations, but will contribute to 2023-2024 results positively, but below management expectations.
Right.
So it seems like it was above the developer, but below management.
Isn't that second line basically them just saying, but $20 is $20?
I mean, it will contribute. No, what they're saying is they did make their money back. It
good.
will contribute positively because I think they made their money back pretty quickly, is what they were getting at.
Right, yeah. Okay.
But they wanted it to contribute quite heavily towards their bottom line. It's probably not going to be doing that because of it's been plagued by issues. But I think the main takeaway from this was that Payday 3 actually did cover itself pretty quickly. Probably through the Game Pass deal and sales. But
yes. And then everyone actually played it and went, why did I buy this?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I was really interested in it. I don't actually like the gunplay in it. I really don't like the gunplay in Payday 3. I don't know if you get used to it, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it.
If I remember, the reviews on Steam are pretty horrendous as well.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
because of the
bad,
matchmaking.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the matchmaking. I seem to remember that even when you were like with your friend, playing with your friend, you then were like out of a match and you couldn't then get back into a match with your friend or something like that. It was just really badly done. So anyway, right, that's the quick news.
That's the quick news. God, okay.
Well, I have to apologise in advance that I didn't thoroughly go through the news this week.
This is not in advance, Ben. This is in media res.
In advance of the main news, I didn't populate. Maybe I did. I don't know.
To be fair, I did look at Eurogamer today, and there wasn't anything glaring, Ben. So
okay, that's the thing. I don't want any glaring mistakes.
I don't want any Skylines one.
There we go. I missed the City Skylines. That was pretty
great setup for the glaring mistake we find out about.
I'm sure there is one. If there is, if anyone's listening, going, why didn't they talk about this obvious thing? Well, that's because I prepared today and didn't pick it up. So
thank you, Ben.
I was busy.
Brilliant. Right. First main news story is from me. The Last of Us 2, or Last of Us Part 2, is getting a PlayStation 5 remaster.
Fuck me.
No, it's
easy.
Hey, no, I have to talk about the story first, and then we can talk about that.
Yeah, so back in July, The Last of Us composer Gustavo Santaolalla made comments about new editions of The Last of Us Part 2, and a Naughty Dog developer referenced a remastered version on LinkedIn in October. A recent PlayStation database sighting all but gave away the fact that this was being made, but now it is official, with Naughty Dog confirming the remaster in a post on the PlayStation blog this week. It will feature technological improvements, new modes, and new behind-the-scene features. It will launch on PlayStation 5 on the 19th of January 2024.
Cool. Can I add a bit more context, Pete, so it doesn't infuriate you?
Go on.
Is it going to include the multiplayer? Is that where you're going to go with this?
Well, okay, so firstly, it's $10 or £10, I think, to upgrade it from your last version. Secondly, the new mode it talks about is a roguelike survival mode that it's adding in with like levels, I think. And it's also adding additional levels from the game that were previously not seen. So additional content to the actual game. For £10, I think it's all right. If you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, you don't buy it.
I mean, I get what you're saying, Ben, but the headline remains. This series now has 5 releases for 2 games.
Yeah, a lot of releases, sure. A lot of releases.
They're no Skyrim, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the thing is, The Last of Us Part 2, the original version, looks insane. Looks absolutely amazing. One of the best games I've ever seen in action. It's getting some kind of facelift, whether it looks any better, whatever. But the new mode, just for a new mode, if you'd said, oh, it's £10 and it's this new mode, I think a lot of people would just gone, oh, right, wow, that's cool. But the fact that it's a remaster as well, people were like, oh, what? Why are you releasing a remaster? That's stupid. So, okay, right.
Yeah, I think it's much more palatable to look at it as just the new mode, really.
Yes.
The rest of it is an added benefit. But
I think so.
It does continue to be these guys continually going into your pocket.
They're trying TV series and everything, you know.
Do you know what? Not only that, but it's a very clever way of never ever lowering the price of this game. Because I have this game wishlisted, waiting for it to come down in price, but it's just not happening. And this is perfect, because why would you ever lower the price now if you just keep on fucking remastering and doing all these fucking new releases all the time? I think that's quite clever.
Well, they won't, but this coincides with the PC release, I think. Let me just clarify that in the background. So I think...
Are we just
talking
going
about yourself?
dead air while you Google it?
You talk about yourself.
You're looking for us to fill the time while you type
Ben's
away.
had a bad performance so far.
Yeah, he has a massive go at my mouse, but you can hear his keyboard perfectly.
I know, it's not my keyboard. I've having to borrow Abby's because mine's died, so it's a really loud one.
I've got a loud laptop. That's why I was trying to silently type a minute ago.
So it's...
I get that. Go on.
I don't know.
Fucking hell, Ben.
Oh, yeah, the
Jesus.
PC port does not appear to be on the card, so okay, fine. Okay.
Right, fine.
Okay,
Wonderful.
no, so you can't play it, Eddie. You can't.
No.
Yes.
I'm still waiting for Last of Us 1, don't worry.
Yes, yeah. Well,
gonna
that
play
probably has
2.
come down in price. You know?
No. Let me copy it. You know what? Talk about yourselves while I copy and paste it.
Can we move on to the next story instead?
Lovely.
Oh, this is good podcasting.
Move on, Eddie.
Good
Do it in
quality,
the background.
good
We'll move
let
us
us know
on.
the price.
You wrap that up at the end. Christ.
It's all right.
So,
I copy and pasted it so it doesn't make the loud typing as well. There you go. Last of Us Part 1 on Steam, $49.99.
painful.
Ooh, that's intense.
Not even on a deal either.
Not even on it.
Not
Wonderful
even on
stuff.
a deal. There you go.
Well, at least you can continue to give them money with this remaster. Anyway, moving on. The PlayStation Portal came out last Wednesday, guys. And it's already sold out.
Yeah.
That's the thing. In completely coincidental news, scalpers have somehow got their hands on loads of these remote players, with some of them on eBay at over £300 already. So the PlayStation Direct store in the UK, which charges $199.99 for the portal, currently reads, "Not in stock. We're working hard to make more available. Please check back this Wednesday, a couple of days from now, the day of the release of this podcast." US version bears the same page and says to check back in early December, guys.
Ooh.
Early December.
Whoa,
Yeah.
December.
Yeah, it's unclear.
December.
Apparently, it's unclear whether this means it's more popular than Sony expected and they just didn't make enough hardware, or if this is all the work of the scalpers. But either way, there are a huge number of them all over eBay selling these for between $220 to over £300.
To be fair, 220, that's not bad, is it?
That's not
Yeah, it's just paying someone 20 quid for nothing.
Yeah.
Just to make it slightly more inconvenient for you.
You're paying 20 quid for somebody to have secured one for you.
Yes, and to have...
To be fair, that's not a bad ask. And let me do a nice little comparison for you. Was it a week and a half ago? When was Bonfire Night? Whenever that was, right? To our American listeners, we have a celebration in the UK once a year where we burn at the stake a person who once tried to foil our government. Now, that sounds like I'm taking the piss, but that is very true. Anyway, I'm up on Bonfire Night, and I see these queues for the beer caravan, right, while I'm watching this guy burn.
This is a good story.
And we have a beer
this is all true story. And there's a big beer tent, right? And I'm like, it's the queue is genuinely over 45 minutes long. There's about 400 people in this queue. We're English, just what we do. We go to an event and we drink. And I thought,
And queue.
I might go to the very front of the queue, give someone £5 and go, "Can I buy your beer?" Like £5 extra, whatever the price of the beer is. Can I give you £5 extra? So this, you know what? This is the same thing, really, isn't it? Because you're going to this guy who waited in the queue to get his portal. Here's 20. I'll give you 20 quid.
He didn't have to wait in a queue, though.
There was no queue.
It was pretty much just walk up to the desk and buy.
He just monopolised it ahead of you. He just blocked you getting there, did he?
Yeah. But look, you've got to accept that some people are luckier, or they got to the queue quicker, or maybe they're quicker in the queue. Whatever. Like, you got to accept that.
It wasn't a queue.
It wasn't a queue. All right, fine. But for example, if you log on now and you can't get a portal, oh damn, I haven't got a portal. Give someone 20 quid for it.
Big old queue.
Now there's a huge fucking queue.
Yeah, big old queue, buddy.
Am I willing to give someone 20 quid for it? Absolutely. That's only 10% of the product. Yes, no problem.
What about 300 plus?
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. I'd be really pissed off for that.
Fantastic.
That's
well,
outrageous.
just to actually round out the story, it should be noted the reviews so far have been very mixed. Praising the hardware itself, but stating it has
I was going to say, for the scalpers.
appeal.
What
for the portal.
Sorry.
The scalpers, I think, are decidedly unfair.
5 stars for the scalpers.
5 stars to the scalpers. Great product.
Yeah. Oh my god. You know what? I give up. I'm done.
Sorry for hijacking. It was just weird. So we were talking about scalpers, and then you go, "Oh, it's mixed reviews." Well, I don't know.
For the actual thing they scalped, yes. Dear Lord. Anyway, Ben, finish us off. You played a PS Portal, right?
I have
did
one.
Did you pay
yes.
a scalper?
I did not pay a scalper,
He
and
is
that's
the
how I know
scalper.
there was no queues. There was no queues because I just walked up and bought one. Yes, I have got a portal. I'll give a little rundown of it. The look and feel of it is fantastic. It looks very professional. It got a lot of criticism when it first got revealed, and people just saying it looked like a controller stuck in half, cut in half, and stuck on a screen. And good, that was actually exactly what it is. And
Yeah,
it
man, I
feels
saw
great.
your little Twitter argument. I saw that. That was good. That was heated.
Oh, did I? What passive aggressive thing did I say?
Yeah, it was just like, oh, well, it's obviously valuable because people are buying it or something. I don't know.
I didn't say that. I never said that. I think I said
something.
if you see value, buy it. If you don't, don't.
I don't know.
So get it right, Eddie. Come on, if you're going to come at the king. Right. Anyway.
The king. Sorry. Hold on.
Very good.
Right. Yeah, the look and feel is good. The screen is wonderful. I think it's really, really top notch, and it probably is something similar to what's going to be used in the Switch 2. So yeah, it's a nice large screen as well. The controller, it is a PlayStation controller cut in half, except for the sticks are slightly smaller. So that changes. For some reason, like when I played Cyberpunk, I could definitely tell that the sensitivities were different to the normal controller, so I had to play around with it and stuff like that. But overall, ergonomically, it feels fantastic in the hands. Like, it really does. Like, playing games that you need to be fairly accurate with in a handheld, that's not something that you can do generally on other handhelds, but on this one, you absolutely can. So I've got a gig internet, but I hardwire my PlayStation. That's an important thing. I think you have to hardwire your PlayStation, really, because then it takes one Wi-Fi aspect out of the performance issues.
Okay. Yeah.
I use the Wi-Fi downstairs, which is it runs at about 200 meg, so it's quite a distance from the router. It loses quite a bit of its speed, but I've played for about 6 hours probably in a handheld in various games, and for me the performance is excellent. It all depends on your setup, but for me it performs really, really well. I haven't really noticed. Sometimes it's not native, and it does feel like a streamed game, but other times most of the time you just get it's fine. You get used to it. I have played some games where you need quite a bit of timing. There's I have played Elden Ring on it, and I did notice. I did a little test. I took it up to my monitor and I switched between the two to see how the game felt, and there was definitely input lag on the Portal, even though on the screen everything seemed imperceptible. Like, it seemed like it ran fantastically.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like it ran 1-to-1. But when I did like a test dodging in front of an enemy, and I got hit on the Portal, but when I did it in my monitor, I'd never got hit. So you could tell that there's a slight timing difference. Now, that doesn't mean you can't play the game on the Portal. It just means that I reckon you'd benefit from almost starting the game on the Portal and then just playing it on it. Like, your body would then, your mind and your subconscious would get used to all this stuff, wouldn't it? So, So yeah, that ran pretty well. I played Cyberpunk on it because that's got a snap aim. Like, that's fantastic. Like, that plays really well, looks great. I played Sonic Frontiers because that I thought required a bit more precision. I noticed no input lag at all on that. I thought it was brilliant. Alan Wake 2, I really want to play Alan Wake 2 on it because it's just going to be easier for me to play it on that rather than on the TV. It's just going to be easier. So I was kind of... Well, it's because I don't want to monopolise the TV when playing that, and it's downstairs or whatever on that one. So I was looking forward to that, but there's a bug with it at the moment because the touchscreen is actually the middle button of the PlayStation controller, and on Alan Wake 2, for some reason... presumably because that button is used to do the map and to go to the mine place, it doesn't work. Okay. It's a known issue. It's all over Reddit and such, and I think it's going to be patched. But yeah, people buying a PS Portal and wanting to play Alan Wake 2, you can't. So that's a shame. But the main game I've been playing on it is the game I'll be talking about what we've been playing. So wait for that then. But overall, I think pretty good. If you've got a good setup with your internet and your PS5 is hardwired and your internet is stable, it's a pretty good way to do your handheld gaming. And yes, it may be expensive. There may be other options out there, but if everything were equal and everything cost the same amount of money, or everything was free, you would choose this one for the ergonomics anyway. As a minimum, the ergonomics are fantastic. So. Yeah, it works well.
Fair enough. The vanishingly small handheld market is probably thankful for that. Comparative.
Don't say small hand in the same sentence to Ben.
The vanishing.
They're talking about small hands. Yeah.
Do
you mean everyone's got a handheld?
There. Don't shoot the king. Or whatever.
Come on! Don't come at me, Pete.
You know, small hands king doesn't like hearing that.
Yeah, don't. That's my weakness. But were you saying the handheld market is diminishing because there's a number of handhelds?
No, well, partially, but no, I just think I don't know, these sort of things always seem less relevant than you paint them, which I suppose maybe is just particular personal bias on our parts.
What do you mean handhelds?
Just generally,
it's the biggest selling console
for these. I'm aware of that.
The biggest selling console.
Yes, Ben, you say this every week without fail.
But it is.
What I mean is putting
a
one on
fact.
top of another console. I don't think is particularly. Massive
Yeah, that's fair. No, that is
Yes.
fair. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Anyway, shall we crack on with new releases? Because it's not going to take long.
Yeah,
Big time.
there's only 4. That's a bit sad, isn't it?
I was
You know,
one
it's,
over.
you know it's bad when you've got the first game's a fucking added edition
Look.
of a cat game.
Look, I was hoping to delay that until you started it, but yes.
Yeah, the first game is Calico Pawsome Edition.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, right.
I thought you'd like that, Eddie.
Right, yeah. So I want you two to sit back and relax, right? Because, Pete, you didn't include the blurb, probably because it's just a fucking different edition, right?
Yeah.
But after doing my research of what it is, I found the blurb and, yeah, just get ready, right? It's coming out on PlayStation's November 28th. Whether you've been away from the cafe for a while... Oh, by the way, this is like the cat... It's not a cat cafe, is it? It's like a cat... It's a game where you have a cafe and you can invite animals there and you run the cafe, right? Whether you've been away from the cafe for a while or you've yet to stop by, now is the perfect time to pounce on Calico. With new animals to befriend, new cooking mini-games to play, and more, this fresh-baked free update is sure to be a treat.
Why did you slow down for treat? Why did you slow down for
Did not
treat?
need that
Because a
pause.
treat, you give a treat to a cat.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
but
It's going to be a treat for us because it's going to be a joy to play. It's also going to be a treat for a cat.
60% of this was puns, Eddie. We didn't need the
It's
pause.
fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's brilliant.
Right.
It's absolute genius.
Tell me about the game.
I've got nothing for you. it's just got more. You got 20 new animals or something like that, and some mini games. Oh, and 25 new cooking ingredients and stuff.
Eddie, riddle me this: if you're buying a cat cafe game, do you get Cat Cafe Manager or do you get Calico Pawsome?
It's a great question. It's a question everyone's asking on all the podcasts.
It just immediately came to my mind.
And the answer is Cat Cafe. Calico is very unique in its art style, while Cat Cafe is a good Facebook kind of mumsy game. Lovely.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Fantastic. Also, I like that one of the animals they added is an opossum. That is not cute in any way.
It's probably the ugliest animal on the planet. Isn't there a rodent as well? I mean,
Yeah, it's
Jesus
definitely
Christ. That's bad. Right, let's move on to an absolute belter. Last Train Home, coming out on PC November 28th. The Great War is over. The fight continues. That's a very confusing first sentence. Commander Legion of soldiers desperately trying to make their way home amidst the chaos of civil war. But the war's over.
The Great War is over.
Oh, so
This is just
Great
a
War's
mediocre
World
war.
War One, right?
Yes, but this
And
is
then-
just a mediocre civil war to follow. Surely.
What, like straight after?
Look, explain
In
the
the
rest
aftermath.
of the blurb.
To be fair, the game is set on real-time events, so maybe... Was Russia in a civil war straight after World War One?
I mean, they were still in the civil war.
Oh, fuck my life. This is confusing already. Lead them through the unforgiving wilderness on board an armoured train. Manage your crew and resources and try to survive. We saw this somewhere because when I saw the trailer, when doing the research, it's that one with real-life people. Do you remember that? Fighting in the snow? We saw...
I don't remember us
somewhere.
seeing it. I don't remember us seeing it.
But this
Mate,
is
it
going to be Russian civil war, isn't it? Yeah.
There you go. It's published by TLOU2 Nordic. They genuinely don't miss. It's a mix between real-time strategy with the battling and stuff and managing your train. The fighting seems very similar to Company of Heroes, but with this at least you can like manage stuff. So you like You choose who to go out on exhibitions. Oh, fuck my life. I know.
Yes.
I'm not going to change it. And you also can equip these people with different things. So it's not like a Company of Heroes where it's just like throwing people at stuff. And this actually seems quite good and tactical. Same with the like building of the train and upgrading stuff and having a kitchen and all this sort of stuff. It actually looks really quite good. I've wishlisted it. The only shame is it's on rails. Do you get it? Because the pun.
Very, very, very poor.
Yeah.
More like this. Jagged Alliance 3. Of course, Eddie's looking at this game.
It's THQ Nordic. They just produce so many good games, and this looks good though, right?
I think this looks class. I think this is absolutely brilliant. This is
a moving base. I think a base that moves between missions. I think is a really cool touch.
But I like the idea of this. Like this sounds like my type of strategy game. Like almost that it's. I imagine the story is quite linear, but you're going from place to place, and in each place you have to venture out to get more resources and get more people and that type of stuff. Like
exactly.
I can see exactly what this game is, and I'm all aboard.
If this has, wow,
there we go.
Jesus Christ, if it has permadeath, I think this could be an absolute gem.
Oh, it will do. Yeah,
I think
it will
so,
do.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that could be an awesome thing.
Yeah, I really hope as well. Like you can extend the train as well, so it's not. I wouldn't like getting your train and then that's my base for the whole time. I would like to know that maybe extend the train stuff. But again, it does boast as well that it's on real time events. It's actually based on real time events and stuff. So. So I think this looks fantastic. I've watched it.
You know the trailer, and as you mentioned, Eddie, it's got real people in it.
Yep.
I was watching, kind of sat back on my laptop, and they popped up, and I was like, "Wow, these graphics, man! These are top draw.
Wow, top draw graphics.
Well,
we have come a long way.
This is a strategy game. This is cray.
What's this been played on? I mean,
THQ Nordic don't miss, baby.
They do not miss.
They miss quite a lot. But
easy.
They throw a lot of shit at the wall, and half of it's pretty good shit, so it works.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all I need. Right, let's move on. Gothic 2 Complete Classic coming out on Switch November 23rd. This is super weird because literally today I was researching Gothic 3 and I was like, ooh, do I get a Gothic 3? And then Gothic 2 Complete Classic Edition. There you go. It's just a classic RPG type. The visuals look much better, I've put. That's only because Gothic 2 is, fuck knows how old that game is, and it looks awful.
Oh, it's awful.
But to be fair, don't get me wrong, it still looks bad on Switch here. It looks pretty bad, but way better than...
What does the Switch version look like?
Yeah, look at it on the Nintendo store, and you can see by the people, you'll go, oh, that looks terrible. But honestly, you compare it to the PC release, it looks...
Oh, that's a hell of a lot better than...
Oh, incredible. Yeah, they've done a really good job there.
It's still awful if it was brand new. But...
It is! If you didn't know what Gothic was, and you went like, oh, this could be a game, and then you bought that, you go, why am I playing an Xbox 360? Yeah.
Xbox 360? Nah. PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1. I just got Gothic 2 out, yeah. It came out in 2002.
Aggressively fair. Okay.
It's weird that they didn't go for Gothic 3 Switch release, right? Why did they go with 2?
Because then they've got nowhere to go.
Nice, Ben. God, you are a businessman, aren't you, Ben?
Yeah,
I respect that.
3 and 3.
Right, last one of the week. That was quick. Alton Was the Case. Coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, and Switch. Holy shit, this game is getting the whole fucking sweep. Wow. November 29th. Autumn Was the Case, a free movement puzzle adventure game where you play as a youngster stuck in a time loop with the simple task of saving the world from literal destruction. Ooh. The visuals are awful. Like, don't get me wrong, they're supposed to be awful. Like, you could tell they've actually, gone, oh, I want to make it this way. But it looks like my level of drawing, and I'm not even exaggerating. When I used to doodle in class at school, this is the level.
Fuck off! You can draw this.
I think you remember your drawing much higher quality than it was.
You've got fucking chicken scratchings of fucking drawings.
Nah, not drawings. That's my writing ability.
also drawing, but I mean, it is an ugly game. It looks like Salad Fingers level drawing.
Yes, Pete. You've hit the nail on the head. Like the whole game looks really fucking weird and disturbing. I mean, granted, they're going for that. But yeah, Pete, brilliant with Salad Fingers, like that kind of weirdness where it makes you feel uncomfortable to play it.
It extends to the animations, like the way they move and stuff is weird.
Well, it's because it's the free movement mechanics, isn't it? Like when you have free movement games, that to me just says you fall over a lot.
But it does make the movement. Well, even when they're just standing, they look weird. They move weird. Yeah.
Yep.
It's odd.
Yeah, so with the time loop mechanic, you'll retain clues, notes, and timeline events, eventually knowing how you can change the future. So, yeah, the whole game's on that kind of time loop. But honestly, even if the mechanics are good, I don't know who would want to play this game.
Is this new, or is this a remake or something?
I think it's new.
Yeah, I think it's new.
Oh, boy.
It's an odd one, because I think if someone likes the art style... I feel this could be one of those that gets a small but very dedicated following, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's clearly
but all the wrong reasons, Pete. You know what? I'm going to insult some people here. The people that say that this game is going to be good, and as I'm saying now, I can see that it's actually nominated for 2 indie awards. Are people?
Okay.
Are people, and I'm going to stick to it. People that want to be cool. You know the guys that go like, oh no, I had a mate at school like this, and he was like, oh no, I like this game. What? This game looks really shit. Oh no, you clearly don't understand it. That's the people that are going to...
Me and Ben both feeling pressure here because we went to school together.
No, just like that weird kid that goes, oh, you obviously don't understand, and then it makes you feel like shit. No. Whoever says to you, this game is good, got a good art style. No, it doesn't. You're being a twat for trying to make me feel like I'm weird for not liking it.
This is going in a direction.
Yeah, I think we've unlocked some trauma here.
That's some PTSD right here.
Yeah. And I am all good for using that for our own benefit for the show. But I do reckon there will be those people about that game, Eddie. I think there will.
There will be.
I'm guessing it's not your nomination for Game of the Week then?
It's fucking not even. It's gonna nomination for one of the worst games this year, I think. Because it looks like they've actually put effort into making it look like that. So yeah, that's one of my nominations for worst game of the year. Oh, we should do a game that. We should do a week like that. That'd be good. Nice little feature.
I know we're harsh on some games, but that would be quite harsh.
It would be to our name. It would be the Grumpy Gamers.
Well, we should do it live on the 7th after the actual Game Awards and take on all the stuff they're not willing to say.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Worst art design. Worst ever. Anyway, I'm pitching a business idea.
That's definitely gone to this fucking game. My pick of the week is Last Train Home. Looks fucking brilliant. I'm going to talk about it in the future because I've put it on my little list to play by the end of the year.
Oh, I can see why. I think that looks. I look forward to seeing how expensive it is, but there is a demo, I suppose. So fair enough.
And you know what, Pete? You know what? Fuck you, because we're talking about THQ Nordic here, and THQ are brilliant at starting games at £30.
Okay.
Right. You know what? I'm putting a bet down. 30 quid it will come out on. And within a month, I will find it on one of the websites for £15.
I mean, that'll be a couple of days before the end of the year. So yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. You know what? Good luck to you, Eddie. Good luck to you.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
That trauma's really done him a number. Right. Let's jump into what we've been playing, so we can change speaker, and we'll start with you, Ben.
Yeah, okay. As I said, I've been playing The Portal and I've been playing Robocop, Rogue City.
Nice.
Wonderful.
I'm really enjoying it. It's true to source material. It's kind of exactly what you expect. You know, like, Robocop's been getting good reviews. Mm-hmm. You know, if you play it, you already know if you're going to enjoy it or not. Like, if you like the idea of Robocop and a video game, if you don't, and you don't know what that is, or you don't care, you're not going to like it. But yeah, it feels like a modern 360 game, but like in a good way, because it looks pretty good and it plays well, and you're just there for the feel good. Like it is 80s 90s feel. So Robocop like walks really slowly. It's like a slow first person shooter.
Yeah, okay.
Like your movement is fairly slow. You can run, but it's more like an old man jog. But it's
it's very real. Okay.
And it's quite linear in its kind of progression. There are missions, and you have little sandbox areas where you have like the main missions to do and the side missions, and you're free to roam that area. And then once you've done that, the main missions, you get in your car and you go away back to the police station, which is kind of like your hub area or whatever, I think. Okay. But the many different like skills to upgrade, which you get through experience points by doing the side missions and the main missions, and you collect PCB boards which you can put into you, and then that will upgrade like your gun, your pistol, and stuff like that. And it's like almost like a mini game how that works, and like you have to put things in particular places to affect the ammo or affect the damage or affect whatever. So bit of choice there as well, but It's just very, very enjoyable, and it's exactly what I kind of needed. I've been kind of scrabbling around playing quite a few different games, and I just wanted to play something fun that I didn't really need to have to think about.
Yeah.
And this fit the bill massively. Like when everything is out there, most open world, and taking a fucking shit ton of time. I started playing. I turned on Persona 5 Tactica. Because it was on Game Pass, and yeah, it was absolutely fine, and it was exactly kind of what I expected, but it was just like tutorial, and I was just like, I just want to play a game. Actually, I just don't want to be told about a million mechanics for the first hour and a half.
Yeah.
So yeah, this fit the bill massively. So I'm going to play more of that. I think I'll beat that one because it's very good. I'm also been playing a lot of Call of Duty Zombies. Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. It's fucking good. The only kind of issue I have with it is that I just wish I knew more people that played COD, like the new CODs. Like inevitably somebody from our Warzone group will get Modern Warfare 3. Will they play Zombies? I don't know, because more into Warzone and stuff. Eddie's probably the prime candidate, but only if Zombies became free, really. You're not really going to be you're not going to be buying Modern Warfare 3. I think this should be free, like DMZ was, but it's really fucking good. Like it's a great mode, the extraction open world shooter. I talked about it last week. I like playing it because it's got more of a perpetual inventory system with like gun upgrades and everything like that, and it's really important. And I like just jumping in and doing a round. The issue is when you jump in with randoms, people aren't on mics, and you just don't know whether they're gonna play around properly. Yeah. If they're gonna go after all the missions and like try and progress it properly, like half the time they'll just go to an exfil and just farm loads of zombies for experience. It's like, right, well, and then you're kind of like soloing. Or they'll just clear off halfway through. It's an hour-long kind of deployment in terms of 45 minutes and then 15 minutes before you have to get out. Okay. And 30 minutes in, people just fuck off. And you're like, okay, well, great. So if you were doing this with your mates, though, like, and you were kind of like if you joined now, Eddie, and you did mission, we just did your missions until you caught up with mine, and then we were just doing the same ones from there. There's so much to do. There's 3 acts, and there's loads of missions to be progressing. I think it's just good fucking fun. Definitely more casual than DMZ, but just good game.
Yeah, my friend today said I need to get it. Apparently.
What, Zombies?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
She.
Okay. Maybe we could have a crew then. 3-person crew.
3 crew.
Yeah, lovely.
Fantastic.
Hey, if you manage to convince like Jack or Kurt to get it, then I can imagine the FOMO being too
You'd
much.
have to.
I'd
You'd
have
to.
to.
Yeah.
I'd drop
Kirk
out
has got
to
it.
70
No,
quid.
Kurt's got Modern Warfare 3.
Kurt's got it, yeah, but he doesn't play games, so
Yeah, that's the issue.
that's
It's
the
a problem, isn't it? Yeah, it is a problem.
That is.
for him.
So I need to convince Jack to get it and play. Yeah, but we tried to convince him to play DMZ. He played one game and he's just like, oh, don't get it.
Right. Yeah. That
Okay.
sounds like Jack, yeah.
Sounds like Joe. Perfect. Right.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that. I'm glad that you still don't even try to convince me these days. I like that. That is good.
Oh, God, no.
Right. Yeah. I mean, admittedly,
Even if you bought it, you'd just be complaining.
yeah, yeah, throughout.
That's so true.
I can't
For the
deal with it.
entire amount of the game, yes.
I can't fucking deal with it. I'd rather play randoms.
Neither of us want to deal with that, so I'm glad of it. Let's go forward. Perfect. So I have actually played a new game.
Woo.
It's not worthy of a woo already.
Oh.
So it will be at some point, I am sure. I will add to that. So I sat down this week to play Cocoon.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, and it is getting stunningly good reviews, we should say. It's getting overwhelmingly positive reviews. It's made by that Jeppe Carlsen guy, the guy behind Inside and Limbo.
He doesn't miss.
Yeah, he's been absolutely
Doesn't
smashing
miss.
it with these
I was going
types
to
of
say that
games.
as a joke, but he actually didn't miss with those two games.
He
so.
really didn't. No, he smashed it. So I was really looking forward to it. And I sat down, had some time to play it. It was like, I might even complete it in one go here. This might be great. And 30 minutes in, I realised I was just not in the mood for an atmospheric puzzle platformer. And if there's anything you can say about this game, it is that it's an atmospheric puzzle platformer. Like, it has 4 controls. 5. You have the 4 directions and an action button. That's
many.
That's your lot. If anything, it's complicated.
Yeah, too many.
But from what I've seen after an hour, because I did play on for a bit, like, no, come on, Pete, you can do this. Like, come on, get on with it. The atmosphere, the music, the art direction, the style, yeah, they're all phenomenal. The fact that there's no guidance, no information, no hints, no tips, also really nice, really good to see. But it's a puzzle platformer, and after a little while, I just kind of went, I'll come back to this when I care.
Which will be never.
No, this is the thing. I do go into phases of it, obviously, because I've played puzzle platformers quite a bit. Planet of Lana is a game I very much enjoyed earlier this year.
Yeah, these types of games I consider your kind of types. Like
They're my palate cleansers. I like them a lot.
And I've mentioned like Jusson.
Yeah, and I'm intending to look at that one too.
Wow,
Exactly.
that was a great French accent.
Jusson,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you.
Shit.
I know.
Wow,
Thank you.
I thought I was in France.
He's
I know,
adding,
I
he's
rivaled
adding accents
you,
that
didn't
were not written. Yeah. Je sente. Yes, but I sincerely hope I do get in the mood soon. But my God, it just... it's one of those things you have to say with the puzzle platform. You have to figure out everything. And if you're not in the mood for that, it really is an instant drag. I'm sure you've had this, Ben.
Oh yeah,
Where
absolutely.
the first moment you just go like, I'm not quite sure here. It's like, I can't be bothered.
I
don't wanna
love-
look at it.
I love playing lots of games, but I hate starting a new game. I hate the learning of like new systems and shit. I just can't. I don't give a fuck. I wish my brain could just be like impregnated with all the information so that I just don't have to think, and then I can start.
Why did you have to go with that one?
I kind of went there. So.
That's the word you started with.
But if I could just be impregnated, then it would all be so much easier.
Oh, can we snip that out of context again, please, and put that at the beginning of the show? That would be an amazing callback. Oh, dear God. Anyway, worst thing is I do understand the vibe you're talking about completely. But, yeah, so unfortunately this was a bit of a failure to launch with Cocoon, but hopefully I'll jump back into it soon. Everything, all the pieces are there. I just can't be asked to put it together into a good experience. That's the truth of it.
So what have you been playing mostly? Is it World of Warcraft still?
Well, obviously that is still a major factor, yes. And unfortunately, the twice-a-year RimWorld addiction has struck.
Oh yeah, you said
That's because, Eddie, I found a mod that lets you do vehicles properly.
Oh, nice, yeah, because you messaged
including-
me a few weeks ago, going like, "Do you know any?"
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking about it, but yeah, literally you have to build all the parts that make the vehicle as well. So you have to
that
build,
sounds really cool.
Yeah, you have to build a transmission, engine boxes, wheels, all of that kind of stuff, and then you build tanks, helicopters, everything around that.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's insane, man. I'm loving it. So, so that has also stolen a lot of my time, unfortunately. It's really good.
Ben's gonna be really upset to hear that I'll be playing RimWorld this week.
This is the thing. As long as like it just sounds weird when you go, I've been playing 1 hour of one game.
Yeah.
No, you haven't. That's a lie.
No. Obviously, I do a 25-man and a 10-man raid, both of which are like over 3 hours each week, and then World of Warcraft daily, and then RimWorld. So yeah, it's a full calendar. But but yeah, I will say, Eddie, I just built an APC which has a mounted turret, and because of the way it's done, you can have 6 crew in the back, a gunner, and a driver.
Oh my god!
And you have to refuel it with ammunition and everything. So it's
shit! This sounds.
I'm now building a couple of helicopters to act as escorts for my APC column. It's going to be sick. I can't wait.
Wow!
Yeah, it's going to be like downtown Fallujah in my RimWorld. It's going to be amazing.
Jesus!
Can't wait. Yes, so that has obviously taken lots of time, but unless you're willing to install hundreds of mods into a game, you can't experience it.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So, what have you been playing until you learnt about this, Eddie?
Yeah, I've still been playing just War Tales. Honestly, I'm obsessed with it. Well, I say that I'm up to 142 hours, and I was at 105 last week, so I've slowed down.
Oh, you slowed a bit of a slow there. Only a 37-hour week there.
Just a normal work week added on this week.
Yeah, I mean, my partner would argue that my parents were visiting for 4 of those days, so that's probably why. But yeah, yes. I would argue the stats say I've slowed down. So
the stats do say you slowed down. Yes,
no asterisks in life. Yeah,
statistically, you have slowed down.
I'm a stats-driven guy, and yeah, there you go. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I've restarted like probably 3 times since last time we spoke. Just because you find, you know, it's one of those games where you just find new things. Look, I'm loving it. That's all you need to know. I'm finding new things every single day that keep on making me restart and stuff. And yeah, absolutely love it. And I've actually, while watching loads of like reviews and stuff, people are actually talking highly of this game now. Like the amount of videos I've seen this week that are in the last 3 months where they're going like, oh, and by the way, War Tales, you should include this. It's really, really good and blah blah blah. So I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. It's going to be my game of the year. So you'll hear about it more then.
My God, fair enough.
Yeah,
good.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, and I suppose that leads us into our feature, doesn't it? I mean,
yes.
We have nothing else left.
That is the natural progression.
I thought Eddie would have some more. Yeah.
Yeah, I normally do, Chad. To be fair, it's been a long time since I haven't had a game, but I'm loving it so much that I even forced myself not to, if you know what I mean. But after hearing about that mod, Pete, don't you worry.
I'll link you it immediately. It's so
lovely.
Yeah,
don't tell Ben.
Good. Yeah, I mean, don't tell Ben as well that later in the feature I'll be pointing out there's a game he recognises coming back in with a new DLC. So yeah, that's going to be great.
You know what we can do, Pete, to keep Ben happy is I'll say that I play Cocoon next week, and you say you play War Tales, and we'll just swap notes. All right?
Love it. Love
there
that.
You go.
Yes, let's do it. I'm in. Right, before we could do that every week.
We could.
That's perfect. Right, so yeah, we come to the feature. And what we wanted to focus on here is, yes, there are still releases to come this year. Not many, though, when we go.
No, not many, but
not many.
There are good ones, though.
There are, yeah. So, I mean, let's list off the highlights. Shall we do that way? Let's do that.
Let's do the big ones,
Then we'll talk about how we feel about these games. So, the highlights for us here were SteamWorld Build, which is coming on the 1st of December.
Yep.
Then we've got, I like that you included this, The Day Before.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, for the purposes of at least this next 5 minutes, is coming on the 7th of December.
Yeah.
Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora is also 7th of December. And then jumping into early January, we have Prince of Persia Lost Crown.
Yep.
And Alone in the Dark coming out. So That's a pretty good set of games, caveat included for Day Before, which isn't even a game in my eyes yet. But let's see what happens. Which ones do we think we're looking forward to most here? Like each of us.
Well, I feel like I can't say Day Before now.
You can.
He's really like lit a fire under that one, isn't he? So.
Look, the judgment is already preloaded, but you can freely say it.
I think we need to address that. Have they got their name back?
Yes, they have, Eddie. They got it back properly by tribunal. It's back, baby. And also, it's back at the number 2 wishlisted game on Steam.
Whoa, shit.
So whether that had a carryover of previous wishlisted people or not. Well, no, we don't know because they actually had a new page. So I don't know if it did have a carryover. Now, we discussed this previously and we said actually because it's such a big game, they probably facilitated those carrying over or something.
It's theoretically such a big game, yes.
But yeah, it's theoretically. But yeah, it's back and it's been delayed so many times, and this time they said they're not delaying it. It will come out, but it's coming out in early access. Which is the death nail because it's now not coming out on console until it's out of early access, and they said it's going to be only in early access for 6 to 9 months. So, so not so good for console players like myself, who, if review scores were above a 6 out of 10, I would have been in. But yeah, it's not coming out on console yet. I'm still high hopes, low expectations, though.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
I think that's the best way to be with it. Yeah, I think that's the best way to be with it.
So can we talk about what it is? We've just talked about the game. It's a zombie MMO survival game. So it seems to have ripped off every similar type game out there. Even the word font and everything for the Day Before looks like The Last of Us. Their trailers are almost like frame for frame taking off other big games like Cyberpunk or Call of Duty Black Ops and stuff like that. They have copied trailers like almost frame for frame. It's incredible they haven't been sued. The game, their latest trailer looked quite good actually, dare I say, from a few days ago. They showed off like weapon modding, they showed off like character creation. It didn't look bad, like the actual movement physics, the shooting and stuff like that. But when they were in the trailers, when they say like, when they're quoting like, realistic whatever, there are other trailers which have had the exact same wording and everything. They've just copied so much, but that's probably because I don't think they're native English speakers, the developers. Yeah. So they probably are just trying to use other people's trailers to help them out. Yeah. But it just comes across a bit copycat. But anyway, Eddie, you're excited. So.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's so funny. I've got 2 games that I'm so excited for. It's this one and Manor Lords that's coming out now next March or April.
Yeah,
one of the 2.
Yeah.
And both of them I'm so excited for. But both of them look like if it turned around and it was a credit card scam, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that is very fair.
So my expectations are, I don't know. I don't know.
This is coming out. I'm saying this is coming out, and I think this will be mixed on Steam. Mixed reviews.
Okay, why mixed?
That's not
I'm going as high as mixed.
Mixed is pretty much as low as it can get, Ben. Really.
No. Isn't it mostly negative?
Overwhelmingly negative.
But like mixed, I think is like 50%. So like,
yeah, fair play.
Fuck.
It's mixed. Yeah.
It's mixed.
Oof. I don't think I've even seen a negative one that hasn't been review bombed, for a specific reason.
I don't know. Like, yeah. Dare I say this gets a positive thing on Steam?
That's up to you, Ben.
The thing is, it's early access, which basically says it is not complete.
Right.
But they have to get it out the door. So
Yeah.
they probably run out of funding. It has to come out in some... They have said that it's going to be cheaper in early access than the full game. So,
that's
so Eddie, it's time to get involved, baby. It's time to get involved.
Do you believe that, though, or do you think it would be like a bell curve and it would come right back down, if not further, later?
Yes, probably that, if it's not very good. But high hopes, low expectations, Pete.
Okay. I suppose that's a freebie to have. Is that the one you're looking forward to most as well, then, Ben?
No, I've actually got two that I'm really looking forward to. First one, I think, Pete, you are also looking forward to. Avatar.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I shouldn't, and yet I am really looking forward to it.
You know what? I feel the same way, and I think, actually, Eddie probably hasn't seen videos on this and heard much about this, but this is like Avatar Far Cry.
Yeah.
So it's really similar to Far Cry, it seems. They've done a really good job with the marketing because they got a load of creators to go out and play it early, and they have all been very complimentary. And said that this game is actually quite good. It looks great. It plays well. The Far Cry aspects are very good. It mixes up environments very well. I'm into it. I am a little bit annoyed that I will have to pay full price for this, whereas you might get it a bit cheaper, Pete.
Yeah, that is one of the main reasons I'm excited for it, to be honest, is the ability to use Ubisoft Plus. What is it, £15 for a month? And just
£15 for a month on PC, and that's not on console. So
yeah, you can immediately just jump in and try it. That is one of the main reasons it jumped to near the top of my list, or pretty much of these highlights, the top of my list. Because I do really want to play it. I also don't want to spend 60 quid on this.
I think that would be pretty cool if two of us played this game.
Definitely would be, yes. I mean, obviously there's no crossplay enabled, I'm sure, but yes.
No, but I'm thinking like that would be quite good for an opinion on the game from here. That's I'd like to. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to be getting it day one, I think. My girlfriend actually said to me earlier. She said she went, "Oh, is this Avatar game supposed to be very good?" I was like, "Oh no, don't worry, we're going to get it anyway. I'll get it on launch."
Don't form an opinion on this. It's happening anyway.
Yeah, you don't need to buy it. It's already bought.
It's already bought. Fantastic.
I like how you didn't. I'm probably Far Cry's biggest fan here.
That's what I said, Eddie. That's what I said. No, that was my point. Sorry, that you probably don't know that this is basically a Far Cry game.
To be fair, I didn't know. I've seen like when I saw it on today, I looked up this game and it does. Yeah, it looks good, but it's going to be a high price tag, isn't it? Oh, I see here, £60 pre-order.
Well, not if you buy it on PC, is what Pete's saying. If you get it on PC, it's £15.
Yeah.
So this Ubisoft Plus, don't you have to pay for that though?
That's a monthly subscription at £15.
Oh, I see. Sorry. And it's free on Ubisoft Plus.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
included in Ubisoft Plus. Yes.
I think I'll wait and see Pete's reaction, and then if Pete thinks it's worth it, because Pete's got a pretty good eye for what I like, then I think I might dip in as well.
Yeah, because if it's 15 quid as well to give it a try, because both of you have pretty beasting PCs.
15 quid's an Eddie price, that's
for a brand new game. That's something Eddie will do.
Far Cry 6 currently is sitting at £15, but I thought it's a bit too much.
for a mixed game.
For a game that's a year old, that's what I thought.
Either of you guys seen the second film?
No, still haven't. No.
Phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant.
I'm aware of your review, and I will end up watching it anyway. The problem is, even if I don't like the story in Avatar, I do like the idea of being on another planet and the level of detail they do.
Honestly, 3D IMAX, that film was like,
mind-blowingly good, I'd imagine. Yes,
great.
The first one was absurdly good like that.
Do you know what would be quite good?
Pocahontas in space. Yeah.
Do you know what would be quite good? And this is quite sad. And I guess Alien Stranded Deep is pretty much identical to what I'm just about to describe. But an Avatar colony management base building kind of game. Where you
playing as the humans in this?
No. The Avatarians?
The Navi.
Is that what they're called?
The Navi. Yeah, the Navi.
I prefer Avatarians.
Avatarians,
just like a little. So you have hordes. Once a week you have the humans try and kill you and stuff, and there's a lot of scope for some fantasy shit with the tree and everything. There's some good scope there.
I think they're making a lot of Avatar films, aren't they? I think there is a lot of scope for different games to come out if this one does well. And I think this one will do well, because I think even people who aren't into Avatar... I mean, remember when this got launched and I was... I think I said like, what? Like fucking 2010 didn't Causa wants their Avatar IP back. Like, why are we making games about Avatar? Then the second film came out, I fucking absolutely adored it, and then it's like, right, I'm fully in Avatar. As soon as I walked out of that cinema, I think I said to my girlfriend, I'll play any game they put in front of me with Avatar. I am all in.
You are capitalism's dream.
I'm a dream. I'm a dream for them. They don't even have to try with me.
Throw money at people, yes.
Yeah.
Any tenuous link and throw money at them, yes. But yeah, that doesn't mean I'm also not going to throw money at Ubisoft just to play this. So
yeah. Any other games that you're looking forward to?
The other one for me at the moment, well, I mean, to be honest, Prince of Persia I kind of like the look of.
Yeah.
But the other one for me is SteamWorld Build.
Oh yeah.
Now, I know what you're going to say, Eddie. I do, but I do think this looks quite fun. So this is... Sorry, I should probably add in. This is a simulation strategy game, obviously. It's base building heavy. It's kind of got a bit of a dungeony bit to it too, with the underground mining exhibition bit. And it's coming out very early in December. And I am cautiously optimistic about it. But I'm concerned that, well, one of the things they promise is that they're all individuals. The pawns you control are all individuals. And I'm very concerned from the videos that that's not actually going to be as much as I hope. Huh. What are your thoughts, Eddie? Because I thought this one would stand out for you as well.
Yeah, you know me. I like this kind of game, the kind of city builder / colony management kind of thing. I don't like the aesthetics of it.
I thought you might say that.
Yeah, it's very bright and it's quite cartoony. And I know that a lot of my city builder games are quite cartoony, but this just seems a little bit too much for me. But once again, if this is something that people say is good, then I would definitely be jumping on it. So
yeah, I suppose that does make sense. I don't know. I suppose I quite like Thunderfall, at least recently. I say that because Planet of Lana was really good. Because do you remember that world list we've seen? I still think that looks really good.
Yeah,
I really want to play that game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm sort of going like, yeah, these guys might be cool. But yeah, why am I so cynical about everything? That's the true question here. But yes, I do quite like the look of this.
Yeah, especially as you like Planet of Lana, I think that's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, although this is even more cartoony than that. But yes, let's see what they do with the pawns. If those people can go rogue, obviously I'll play it.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. And what about you mentioned? What was your other one?
Well, Prince of Persia. You mentioned it.
Yes.
So Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. This is the 2D action platformer game. It's reinvigorating that Prince of Persia IP, which has not been used for a hot minute now. They might make a big game after this if it's fully supported, but I loved Metroid Dread, and this just gives me Metroid Dread vibes, like in terms of the fluidity of the combat and things like that. I'm really interested. Definitely going to get it. It's just what platform I get it on. It seems like a handheld game to me.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I think it looks great. We saw it at, I think, the last Jeff Keighley event. I think.
Yes, and it looked fantastic. It looked really good.
It looked brilliant. I think it was Summer Games Fest, was it? Yeah. It looked absolutely brilliant. And I don't know whether that's because the event as a whole was bereft of good games and was pretty shite, and this stood out, or...
I think partially there's a nostalgia element for us because it does look like things like the original and The Lion King and all those other games in that vein, but just done 100 times better.
Yep.
But I am really interested in this. It's Ubisoft. Is it going to be on Plus? Do we know?
Oh, you dirty dog.
I'm just wondering. I could just keep the subscription rolling for another month.
I imagine it will be. Yeah, I imagine it will be, Pete. You dirty, dirty dog.
Yeah, and then I've basically given them nothing for my... Yeah, love it.
Damn you. Well, I'm going to spend like 160 quid on video games. You're going to fucking pay a subscription.
Little 30 and then duck out again. Yeah.
Jeez, and the problem is these Ubisoft games will be 20 quid within 3 months.
Yeah, they will be.
Better still, Ben, I'm going to borrow a Steam Deck so I can play it handheld as well.
You devil. Ooh, I can do that.
Yeah.
I wonder if Avatar will work on Steam Deck.
I mean, it's worth a try, surely. But yeah, it does. I really like the graphics as well. I think the art design looks great.
Ah, wonderful. Yeah, no, I think it looks really good. I'm really, I'm looking forward to that because January we've got this, and the other one we mentioned was Alone in the Dark. It's not huge, but I like to have something to look forward to after Christmas. You know, like something coming out in January. January's the dark month.
Yes.
January's the dark month, isn't it? And you need something to look forward to. Prince of Persia is going to be that one. I'm not really that into Alone in the Dark. Does anybody play that when you were younger?
I do
Alone
not.
in the Dark. What was that one?
It's kind of like one of the... In terms of all the horror games that came out in the 90s or whatever, Alone in the Dark seemed to be like the shitty younger brother of them.
Yeah, I never played this.
Very fondly remembered.
The main guy looks like the guy from Stranger Things. Is he?
I don't know.
I
don't
think
know.
he is.
I don't think this, even graphically, doesn't look amazing. But Alone in the Dark is a big IP, isn't it? Like it's a known IP at least.
It's a very known IP, yes.
I don't know who's played it, but it's known.
None of our friendship group, extended or otherwise, I think. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this had a prologue released earlier this year, did it, as well? That got well reviewed, I think.
Did it?
Yeah, I think there was a prologue that came out in like May this year.
That's some
and
knowledge.
was given a good review. I think it's
By
free to play
by
as
one
well,
person
by the way.
was given a good review.
It's free to play as well, so you can just go and check out the prologue. I think if you
Quite
want
easy
see
to
if you
go
can get sense
give a
for it.
good review to a free-to-play game, but yeah, that's cool.
I suppose that does help it. Yeah, definitely worth the money. Very positive. Yeah. No,
Yes.
but yeah. So I mean, I don't think it's for me, but you could try out the prologue and find out.
You know who published it?
They
THQ
miss a lot.
Nordic.
It's THQ Nordic.
THQ
Yeah.
Nordic.
They miss a
Oh,
lot,
there
but
you
they
go.
shoot even more, so they do fine. Yes.
Well, there you go. I mean, this featured games coming in the next couple of months. Obviously, we've just had an insane amount of games be released.
Yes.
We've got our Game of the Year show coming up in not too long. I know you guys have a couple of games planned to play before then. What are you thinking about dipping your toes into before Game of the Year?
Well,
Go on, Pete.
I was just going to say, this will make you really happy, Ben, because one thing I can't wait to jump into is a new DLC for Stellaris.
Oh, wonderful! Cannot wait.
God, they're
called
still
Astro-
releasing DLC for that.
Oh yeah, it still gets regular updates, Eddie. It's updated every 4 to 6 weeks.
It's one of the top
New
selling
content, bug
things
fixes.
on Steam at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, and this is a really cool DLC called Astral Rifts. It's already come out. I'm just waiting for my new computer to actually jump on it. Really like the look of it though, so that's going to be great. But around and about that, I will of course be playing more Cocoon. I am intending to jump into Shazam. And
taking a
around
dump
that as well, I will take a dump on Sea of Stars. Yes. But there's also more Phantom Liberty to play, so I'm in love with Aurora, so I have to go back to it. Yeah.
Yeah, good
That's
stuff.
what it is. Yeah, plenty to play.
I've got the Stranded Alien Dawn that I keep on banging on about. I'm going to get it. Dave the Diver, want to play that. And The Bloodline that I talked about a few weeks ago on our new releases that I think looks really, really good. There's 2 games that have gone out, as some hardcore listeners will recognise. Hogwarts Legacy, that's gone. I'm not going to play it.
Right.
That's only because, honestly, it's not being included in any Game of the Year chats. And I think half of my motivation was because I think it does look really good, and I always assumed it was going to be in a conversation. But nobody's talking about it. None of us are nominating, are we? So
No, I'm not. Not
yeah, so that's out. And Baldur's Gate 3
Good choice.
is out because of the rumour that I hear that it might be coming to Game Pass.
Well, that is yeah. We don't know how true that is, but hopefully it is, because it sounds like a perfectly plausible thing that at the Game Awards, Xbox Baldur's Gate will be announced as coming to Xbox, and not only that, could be coming to Game Pass. That's kind of doing the rounds on the rumor mill. Certainly, I've seen a few people put it out there, and it does make perfect. Kind of from a business perspective, like Xbox needing to make a splash, that would be pretty big. So, and Baldur's Gate getting a massive payout because no doubt it's going to be Game of the Year. So this could be excellent for them. Let's see if that happens.
We could still be surprised. We could still be surprised.
Well, I'm not wedding. The thing is, I've been looking on weekly basis on all the websites to try and get this at a reasonable price. It's not coming down in price, so I'm not going to get it at 35 quid or whatever that it's sitting at. So
That's
I might
not
as
that
well.
high, but
I might as well roll the dice and see if it comes out in Game Pass. Also, Endless Dungeon has got really bad reviews, which
Has
is really
it?
sad.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it?
oh, that's weird.
So that one is out. Last Train Home that we just talked about, I'm obviously going to put that on some sort of tentative list of possible buys before Game of the Year. And another one that could be making an appearance, Anvil Saga, had its full release last week. We didn't include it in our new releases because Pete doesn't do his job properly.
I wasn't on last week.
But they've moving on. But they've actually turned things around. That had a really bad start. It was mixed reviews on Steam, but they've really turned around.
What was Anvil Saga?
That's the game where you're a blacksmith in the medieval era, and
yes, of
run
course.
that blacksmith.
Yep.
It's kind of pixelated graphics, and it looks just like my kind of game. Quite simple, but my kind of game. And I think I found it at around £8, so that could be an option as well.
Very good, very good.
Lovely.
I just want to finish off Alan Wake 2, Robocop, and then I'll be playing Avatar. But I need to also dip my toes into War Tales and see if that takes me as well, because Eddie will be talking about it. So
I think we all have to jump into War Tales quickly.
I don't think it'll take you, Ben, but Pete, I think you'll like it.
Okay, I better finish this vehicle playthrough on RimWorld before.
Yes, and then I will move on to that. So
good, perfect. And we can review it on separate weeks.
Lots to do in a month, guys. Lots to play in a month.
Yeah, that is a lot. Considering I'm travelling a lot as well, that is a lot.
There's a lot to play. I tell you, Eddie, you could do with a handheld, my friend. That's what you could do with.
You could loan him one of your many, Ben. Is that what you're saying?
Loan him my Steam Deck.
If my girlfriend's listening, Christmas is coming. It's a shame she doesn't listen to the podcast.
she's in the next room, Eddie. Just speak louder.
She'll tell me to fuck off. So
just shout that you need a Steam Deck and you need it before Christmas.
She will not know what that is, and she will get me something really weird. Like
she'll get your PlayStation Portal.
A patio with a steam vent coming through it or something. I don't know. There's something there.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Good. Well, lots to do. If anyone had anything they'd want to add to the list, then how would they let us know?
You can email us podcast@grumpy.
Don't do that. Well, don't add to the list. We've just said we've got lots to do.
Specifically for Eddie, please add a lot to the list. And do
Eddie hasn't got enough, and he's travelling, remember.
Yeah,
so.
That's it. Make sure they're sit-down desktop games, and let's hear them. How would they do so, Ben?
podcast@grumpygamers.co.uk. You can email us there. Perfect. Or you can tweet us @grumpygamerspod.
Wonderful. We look forward to a lot of ideas. Thank you. But for this week, it's GG.
GG.
GG.